On Easter Sunday, Nika lifted her cup and felt the world spin. She knew this drink would change everything. Early on Easter morning, the village of Umudim glowed with light. Families wove palm fronds into crosses, and children sang in the church courtyard. Nika wore a white wrapper and carried a basket of kola nuts to share. Her heart hummed with joy. After the service, she promised her mother she would return with stories of celebration. The sun felt warm on her skin as she walked home, unaware that her day would end in fear. Chidi entered the church courtyard in a bright shirt, holding a single red rose. He smiled at Nika and bowed. "Will you join me in the bar at noon?" he asked softly. The bar was near the market, painted with faded Easter symbols. Nika hesitated. Easter was for church, not bars, but Chidi's calm eyes made her nod. She tucked the rose into her wrapper and promised to meet him after lunch. Her friends watched, puzzled. The bar sat under a tall palm tree, its trunk wrapped with fresh palm fronds. Wooden benches lined the walls, and lanterns swayed with the breeze. The air smelled of cooking yams and palm wine. Nika stepped inside with Chidi. He led her to a small table carved with church symbols. Mothers passed by, whispering about Easter joy. Yet, inside the bar, the air felt thick. Nika smiled, but her stomach felt strange. Chidi handed Nika a small wooden box with Easter carvings. Inside lay 2 painted eggs and a piece of cola. "For memory," he said. Nika's fingers trembled as she opened it. The eggs were colored in green and gold. She pressed one gently to hear if it rattled. Chidi watched her with a soft grin. Villagers at the doorway paused, surprised to see painted eggs given in the bar. Nika felt honored, but wondered at the odd setting. Chidi poured 2 cups of palm wine from a clay jug. Nika reached for hers and lifted it to the sunlight. She sniffed the sweet scent, then sipped. The drink tasted strange, like cola, but sharper. She coughed softly and set the cup down. Chidi's smile stayed calm. He offered her a cola nut from his palm, saying, "It will help." Nika felt warmth rise in her chest. She laughed to hide her worry, but her vision wavered. Outside, lanterns cast dancing shadows on the palm tree. Inside, the bar grew quiet. Nika's head throbbed and her hand shook. She gripped the table edge. Chidi leaned close and whispered about his love. Nika blinked. His words floated as if underwater. She nodded, though she did not hear. Every laugh outside turned into a dull roar in her ears. Fear brushed her spine, but she forced a smile to keep him calm. By evening, the festival lights flickered. Nika tried to stand, but her knees buckled. She gasped for air. Chidi caught her arm. "Are you well?" he asked, his face calm. Nika tried to answer, but only a soft moan escaped. The bar's lanterns felt heavy above her. Chidi lifted her onto a bench and called a friend to carry her home. Villagers stared in shock at the young woman leaving the bar in Easter finery. At home, Nika's mother laid her on the mat. She called Dadienso, the healer who knew every herb. By lantern light, he checked Nika's pulse and eyes. He touched her drink-stained lips and frowned. "This is not a simple fever," he said. "Poison is in her blood." Nika's mother wept as Didi Enso pressed bitter herbs into Nika's palm, saying prayers softly. The healer's claim echoed in the quiet house where Easter songs once rang. At sunrise, Nika stirred. Her mother sat beside her, wetting her lips with water. "My child, who did this?" she whispered. Nika's mind swirled like clouds. She blinked and thought of Chidi's warm voice. "It was Chidi," she said faintly. Her mother's tears fell on her wrapper. Outside, church bells rang for the final Easter service. Inside, a silent question hung. Who trusted love too much? Villagers searched for Chidi at his home near the rice paddies. They found his mat folded, the red rose he gave Nika lying on the floor. His door stood open, as if he left in a hurry. No footprints led away, only a torn strip of cloth fluttered in the wind. Nika's mother held her daughter's hand. "He is gone," she said. Nika closed her eyes, feeling emptier than the church after service. Nika sat on the riverbank, wrapped in her Easter shawl. Her cousin Obi joined her, his face grim. "We will find him," he vowed. Nika nodded. feeling a new fire in her heart. Together, they planned to track Chidi to Nkwo Market by the old bridge. "We will bring him back," Obi said. Nneka clenched her fist and felt strong. The river's current whispered around her, as if ready to carry her hope to him. Nkwo Market bustled like a beehive. Traders called out prices for eggs, yams, and baskets. Shouts mixed with church songs from a distant radio. Obi and Nneka weaved between stalls, asking after Chidi. Some shook their heads. Others pointed toward a ring seller painted in bright yellow. Nneka's heart thumped. There he stood, selling carved crosses and smiling at buyers. Chidi did not see her yet. He looked lost in his work. Nneka tied a colorful scarf over her hair and wrapped herself in a trader's cloth. Obi held her basket high, as if shopping. They approached Chidi's stall. He greeted them in his soft voice, not recognizing her. Nneka pretended to admire a carved cross with Easter colors. "How much?" she asked. Chidi named a price. Nneka smiled and handed him coins. Obi watched close. Nneka's heart pounded, but her voice stayed steady. Chidi offered Nneka a drink from a clay cup decorated with crosses. "You look thirsty," he said kindly. Nneka held the cup and sniffed. The smell hit her like thunder, bitter cola mixed with something odd. She raised her eyes. "This smells strange," she said softly. Chidi's face went still. "Your taste lies on holidays," he replied. Nneka looked around the busy stalls. Traders paused and listened quietly as she spoke again. "Why did my first sip burn my throat?" The market hushed. A woman near a basket of eggs gasped, "That is Chidi who tricked my cousin." Other traders nodded. Voices rose like a drumbeat. "He poisons drinks for money," shouted a yam seller. Chidi's eyes darted around. He dropped the cup and backed away. Nneka stepped forward and said, "He tried to kill me on Easter Sunday." A trader grabbed Chidi's arm, and the crowd closed in. Fear edged the bright day. Chidi shoved past the crowd and ran down the dusty path. Obi shouted and chased after him. Nneka ran too, her skirt catching on baskets. Traders threw ropes and sticks behind him. He scrambled over sacks of yams and baskets of eggs, the smell of fresh bread mixed with dust. He paused at a small bridge and looked back. No one was close. He sprinted across and vanished into the palm groves. The market stood still, humming with shock. Obi and Nneka followed footprints to an old iroko tree. Its wide roots rose like a giant's fingers. There, Chidi hid in its shade. Obi called his name. Chidi stepped out slowly, his face pale. Nneka arrived and faced him. "Why on Easter Sunday?" she asked. Chidi's eyes fell. He did not reply. Obi tied his hands with a strip of cloth. The bird calls were silent as the tree watched the three below. They brought Chidi back to Umudim at dusk. Under the great iroko tree, elders sat in a tight circle. Flames from torches flickered on their faces. Nneka told her story, how love turned bitter in her cup. Obi and the market traders spoke too. Chidi stood in the center, head bowed. No one heard an answer. The chief lifted a carved staff and waited. The air smelled of burning palm fronds and tense hope. The chief spoke in a strong voice. "On Easter, we celebrate life." Chidi chose to steal life in a cup. He paused and looked at Chidi. "You will return what you took and leave all villages behind." Chidi placed the painted eggs and kola nuts at Nneka's feet. He did not speak. Nneka felt sorrow and relief mixed together. The elders nodded and rose. Torches dimmed as they all stood, thinking of sacred trust and broken hearts. At sunrise, Nneka walked to the river where palm fronds floated on the water. She let the current carry a painted egg away. She watched it drift until it disappeared. The village sang a soft Easter hymn, but her heart hummed a new tune. She closed her eyes and whispered, "What happens when faith in love is lost?" The wind carried her words into the sky, leaving the question for any who listened. For more stories like this one, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and also tell me in comment section where you watched from.